Hey everyone, welcome back to BMX News, a weekly live BMX news show where I need to check and make sure my mic and everything are working properly. Looks good to me. I do this live every Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week in the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about, not because anybody pays me to do it, because nobody pays me to do it, but because it's cool. Or interesting, or I think you guys might care. And that's it. So, with that, we got 20 people in the chat. Shout out to all the members first. Jeff Mead's in here. Caleb Oni. Hey, he's Kevin. He's a member in here. The Karinsky fam has arrived. Travis S. first in the chat today. He beat Sean Chambers to being first in the chat. Dang. Eric Stahl's here. Stony Old Fat Guy BMX has arrived. Kevin Jackson. Sean Praglowski. Tomorrow with some poop emojis. What else? Ryan Button. And David Van Vlay. Lester. Who else? I want to make this quick. Dang, the Karinsky fam. With 10 gifted members in the chat. We now have a whole bunch of new members that are in here. O-Dog's Proud Poppy, Lucio, I'm not sure how you say that, Mez Monster, London's Falling Creative, Sean Gelhaus, Logan Richard, Mark Richard, Justin Mikesell have all been gifted memberships. Legend TV, Ninja Fan. What's up, Daniel? All right. Let's get into it. So, first thing I want to talk about is something I made a video talking about last week, and that is the Wheels of Steel and Sparky's merger. So if you have no idea what any of this means, there is a video on my channel where I read the whole press release and talk a little bit about it. But the Spark notes are that Wheels of Steel, a parent company over Source BMX, Stay Strong, Battle Brands, Battle Events, and Snap Distribution, as well as Sparky's, who's a parent company of Shadow, Sabrosa, Rant, and Shadow Riding Gear, have merged. So Paul Gale is not invisible. Sorry. I was getting to the news when you did your wave. You're not invisible. But I talked a little bit about this. There has been some major backlash from this. Different bike shops and a mail order that I saw very not happy with this. And from their perspective, I could see where that would come from. My perspective would be waiting to see what actually happens and how it affects things. And there have been a lot of conversations about this with a lot of different people. And I'm looking forward to hopefully doing a podcast with someone from Sparky's and someone from Wheels of Steel. Not at the same time, unless that could happen. But doing those, answering some questions, and getting everything out there. So for now, my perspective on this is I always wait and see what happens before I make a judgment on anything. There's a lot of people who are upset calling the people who own Wheels of Steel the Moors. Not this Moor, but two others. Just talking about they're talking about these two dudes who started Source BMX like 20 years ago and have always had a place for people to ride and all this stuff, as if they're freaking like Mark Zuckerberg or what's his face who owns Amazon. And I feel like that's not quite a fair comparison, and also why I'm waiting to see, because yes, they have grown and they are huge, but at the same time, they are also still, they went to Swamp Fest. I saw at least one of the brothers there. they have the Battle of Hastings and they support people. So it's like they're supporting BMX, but there's this other stuff. And people talk about how, oh, Caleb Oney owns Amazon. Actually, I mean, it's in your freaking name. He owns Amazon. So the other thing too is they talk about, oh, these big mail orders do all these sales and undercut MSRP and whatever. And it's like, that probably happens. I don't pay too much attention, but also everyone does sales right now. Everybody's trying to sell their stuff right now. And people talk about cutting distributors out and things of that nature. And I think a lot of it comes from, I don't know, I'm not going to try and say where it comes from, but what I find a little ironic about all of it is that everybody who's not benefiting from this is acting as if these companies have an obligation to operate in a way that benefits everyone. And I think we have to realize these are businesses and that they are going to look out for their best interest and their employees and owners and riders and things of that nature. And I suppose exercising the option of, if you're a bike shop or a mail order and not supporting this and not selling these companies, is how they're reacting to it. But I think people who just generally go out and just bitch about stuff like this and say, oh, you're hurting this, you're hurting bike shops, and you're hurting this. It was like, there's a lot of things that hurt bike shops, but it's not a company's obligation to make sure a bike shop stays in business. And they're also talking about all of these different ways that they're going to try, or that this is supposed to help the IBDs. And so I think what I would say is that, I'm waiting and seeing what happens. I'm not going to tell anyone else to wait and see what happens, but I'm waiting to make a judgment. I'm going directly to the people involved for information and then making judgments based on that. And I think that I don't have a mindset that any one person or company or anything is obligated to make sure that they make moves so that other people, companies, or anything can survive, especially in a state of BMX right now where everyone is struggling. And there's a lot of people who I think are feeling struggle and then talking about a move like this as if it was like, why didn't they do something to help me? Even though that's not what's being said at all. No one is saying that, but it's what it kind of feels like. It was like, well, it's because they're trying to stay in business. And to stay in business, you can't try and make everyone do better if you can't do better on your own. Supporting your local bike shop is great. And there's a lot of stuff in here talking about IBDs, independent bike dealers, and it will bring increased support to Sparky's quality dealers. So I think I'm going to wait. I'm not going to make any judgments, as I've said 500 times so far. And I hope that this goes well. I acknowledge too that it could not go well, and I acknowledge that in my video, that it could turn into something, but I don't know yet. We have to wait and see, and I'm not going to act as though it's going to. And I see people talking about how no one's ever going to carry these companies again. It's like, you're talking about, I don't know, you're talking about companies should be looking out for bike shops and things, and these guys literally have a statement that says how they're hopefully going to be looking out for bike shops as best they can in better ways because of this, while also saying we're not going to sell their stuff. And it's going to be a survival of the fittest kind of thing, where it's like, well, if we don't carry their stuff, then how's it going to go? We are born into this world with no certainties. It's up to the individual. And Austin, that is a great point too, when everybody talks about how we have to support local bike shops, but you go into certain local bike shops and they don't have any BMX stuff because the margins are so low already that they probably don't want to put their cash flow into something that, one, people aren't coming in to buy, and two, doesn't make them very much money when people do come in to buy it. It makes more sense for someone, and this is a business thing, it makes more sense to take your cash flow and put it into the thing that makes you the most money in the shortest amount of time, so that you can turn around and put that cash flow into something else that will make your money for you. And if nobody's buying BMX stuff, it's like this crazy cycle of like, oh, we have to support the shops that don't carry anything BMX, but that's also because nobody goes in and buys or asks for anything. But at the same time, there's a million different choices of parts to buy, so they can't carry everything, and people could just order online and get it the next day instead of the shop ordering it. And it's tough. And it's a hard world that we live in right now. And I think the mindset that I have on all of it is that nobody has an obligation to ensure someone else's survival as a company before their own. Companies have to make sure they can support themselves before they can go out there and try and help other people stay afloat. And that is the concept of the selling direct versus bike shops things. Like, if bike shops aren't ordering anything, but people are ordering online, and a company is barely surviving, what's the decision it's gonna be? That's like if you go to work and you have two different options for things you're going to do when you go to work. One path makes you X amount of dollars, and the other path makes you twice as many dollars as that for the exact same amount of work and investment into it. It's like, which one are you gonna do? And one of them you struggle, but you may see someone else benefit, but you don't really know. And the other one, you know you're going to be okay, and that you might be able to help benefit other people later because of it. It's a long-winded conversation. I've been talking for 15 minutes about it. I'm gonna wait and see. That's my perspective on it. And all these people who are like, death to Sparkies and Source and all of this stuff, I'm like, hey man, I just want to be friends with everyone. I want everyone to succeed and do the best that they can, and I want to be friends with all of them. So I'm not picking sides or saying anyone's anything unless they're actively going out there and trying to hurt somebody. So let's continue. If there's more, it'll come up. So this is one. Let me go into the chat real quick before we talk about this. I'll go back up later. So this guy sent me this. I'm gonna assume that's Nige. I'm not sure, but he made a BMX focused rap song, and he sent me an email about he's been making music for X amount of years. And so I figured if you guys wanted to hear some of it, we could play it, and then you could go find whatever you want from there. So this is the Instagram post.
2, 3, 5, one for me and my bro. Like Nike if you take it way 6.0. Supreme links only when I'm bunning my crow. Rap and ride with my mates, yeah we have a couple laughs. Got a nose manual line, I'm going over the bars. Ask Luke cares if I'm rolling the grass. Out of this galaxy, I'm defo on Mars. If you call the Federal, you'll be acting sorry. I know guys that hold clips like Ostanogi. If you call the Federal, you'll be acting sorry. I know guys that hold clips like Ostanogi. Happen like a worn tire, I'll definitely blow. I'm getting 2, 3, 5, one for me and my bro. Like Nike if you take it way 6.0.
Okay, that started it over. There you go. Check it out. Listen if you like it. And it's there. It'll be linked in the description after the stream. Next up, we get into another thing that I put towards the beginning here. We have Angie Marino being at Red Bull Rampage. There wasn't much else for the lady shredders to talk about this week, so I wanted to talk about this as well. And there's 2 videos here. I just linked this page from the Bloom BMX website. There's 2 videos. The first one is the women's event and kind of vlogs surrounding that, with then the main part of the event. Nikita is part of these as well. And if you want to check those out, there you go. So then we get into the videos from this week, starting with the shortest and ending with the longest videos. Literally raised my blood pressure watching. I'm not sure what that means, Stoney. Is that a good thing? I don't know. He said he's got flow. Anyways, first video, Colony with Sam Grace, Jaden Fuller, and Chris James at the Groundswell Bowl battle. This bowl looks gnarly. And it looks like it's right by the water. Shredding in here, and a lot of really good riding in it. So we have Red Bull stuff, Rampage, craziness. Oh, I forgot. There was something I wanted to talk about with the Red Bull thing. The Rampage thing. When I was watching a little bit of this, I kind of wondered, like, if Red Bull Rampage is kind of like a version of the whole gladiator Roman battle thing, where you look at how many people are in the, just along the canyon, whatever you call these things here. Find a good example. There's so many people just gathered to watch these literal gladiators barrel down the side of a freaking gnarly desert mountain cliff thing, and they're cheering for it, and they're there for the excitement and the thrill and the potential of this going horribly wrong. It just kind of feels like a modern day version of that. You know, you have like MMA and boxing and those things that are literal modern day versions of gladiators going to battle. But this also feels similar to that, where it's like this super gnarly thing that people are compelled to watch because of how crazy and gnarly and the potential for things to go wrong. It was a connection I made when I was watching it, and I thought, bring it up, talk about it a little bit, because it's gnarly. Next up, we got Davey OSG Good in his monthly BMX edits. This one is called Tober from October. Davey OSG Good is incredible. This dude is so skilled on his bike in just making it do whatever he wants it to. And it's really awesome to see that he pretty much has a whole new bike. He got a new work BMX frame and then a bunch of parts from Animal. I really hope they're hooking him up now and just helping him out. And it would be amazing to see Davey go on an Animal trip and just see what he can come up with on a trip, because this dude rides like this on a monthly basis, putting out these so in like the highest level of technicality in his riding. So it would be awesome to see what he would do if he took that on a trip and was at spots feeding off of everybody else's energy. I think it'd be cool. Nitro Circus for Mormons? Is that because it's in Utah? That's pretty funny. Oh, God. Jeff Mead heard the next Rampage is going to be on pogo sticks and they're going to have handrails. Man, I hope so. Yo, there's 43 people in the chat right now. How sick is that? I forgot that I needed to pull up the More BMX hashtag. So we're going to make that happen. There we go. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in every Friday at 10. Hit it. Come and tune in, hang out with us, talk about BMX news and BMX and all kinds of other good stuff. look up the definition of tech, and Davey has his picture there. Yo, Dan's Comp is in the chat. Hi, Dan's Comp. Is it Brighton? Hi, Brighton. Appreciate you tuning in. Why do I see 60-foot gaps in the chat? Luke, that's because we were talking about Red Bull Rampage for a second. Anyways, go watch Davey. He's amazing. Then we've got one from a guy named John Lopez. I don't know how you pronounce that. But the beginning of this video feels like an experimental animation. It feels really, really cool. I guess it kind of is experimental animation. But this is a dude that maybe you don't quite recognize his name, but there's a lot of awesome wall rides in here, a lot of good riding. So check it out. It was well done. Then we have the next video from Callen Starks. I am always so stoked whenever videos come out from this dude because he kills it. Just super, what's the word I want to, calculated, but burly at the same time. And it is always awesome. You don't know what he's going to do, but you kind of have an idea. This video is exactly that. And the wall ride at the end is at a spot where it's like, you could take 100 BMX riders to this spot and they're all just going to walk down the stairs and be like, where's the spot at? And then you take this dude and he's like, oh yeah, you know, it's a set of stairs like this. You see this rail, it's like, oh, what are you going to do there? No one's jumping from the top to the bottom to flat. Like it's a not spot that he made into a spot by doing a gap to wall ride straight to flat. So nuts. So I love watching this dude riding. That's a doorway. So a doorway is probably 7.5 feet tall. And he's a good 3 or more feet above that with his front tire. Back tire another foot above that. And he's riding for a little bit, but then going straight to flat. And it's crazy. What's up, Matt's cat? And there's over 50 people here. Yo. Thank you guys for tuning in. I do this every Friday. Come hang out with us. We talk about BMX and just everything that goes on, and it's a good time. Crazy, crazy video. Watch the whole thing. I kind of spoiled the banger of the video for you. Sorry, but worth it. Kevin Zuba. I guess it's okay that you're late. Yo, the Kinsky fam is in the chat, and now we're talking about a video with Huck Kinsky. So this video was made like a week before Huck turned 10. It pretty much is the best capture of the vibe of what it feels like to be a kid at Rays. Just happens to be that the kid is like the best 9-10-year-old kid who rides at Rays, and you get to see some crazy riding. But it's showing getting candy, getting ice cream, hanging out with friends, just having a good time riding around all of the different rooms at Rays. And he also backflips the spine, you know, no big deal. It's crazy. Check it out for sure. Next up, we've got Rickon Sixon video from Rickon featuring, let's get all of the names here. Billy Perry, Dan Crook, Jack Hinnicky, Mark Ramos, Mike Brennan is there, Chi, and Greg Henry as well. This is a good one. I enjoyed the titles for the people and how it went, you know, it was a normal clip, but it went to, let me just find an example.
How long did it really take me?
Go back to the very beginning. Maybe. There we go. That's an example of it. They made it like this kind of comic book, black and white effect vibe for in the middle of a clip, where it'd be otherwise hard to just add a title. As a video person, I appreciated that. Riding, exactly what you expect from all of these guys. Killing it. And I love seeing everyone together. Greg Henry's in here. Cheese in here doing freaking ice to 270 foofs on subs. Mike Brennan's in here doing sprockets on rails. Wow, thanks. That looks like an amazing spot. Dude, what could you... There's so many possibilities here. I want to ride this spot. Anyways, check it out. Then we've got Alienation Street Squad featuring Ben Allen, Dr. David, Bailey Koenigs. Friggin' heck, Austin Schumacher in here did a super chat. Thanks, man. You're gonna see Austin tomorrow. Let me add you to the thanks post. Austin Schumacher. Boom. $1.99 super chat. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. And we'll see you tomorrow for the Chili Jam at Apple Creek. Do you wear ankle supports when doing tricks? Yes, I do. I wear ankle braces every time I ride. Doesn't matter if I'm trying flatland or doing a back rail foof. Always wearing ankle braces because I have since I was like 16. I realized, oh, this ankle roll that I have where I can't ride for 3 weeks, I could have prevented that just by wearing an ankle brace. Dang, Austin with another one? Thanks, man. We're just going to call that an even 4. Or no, 398. I can do math. Ha! Thank you, though. Seriously, you don't have to do that. You're the first streamer I've donated to. Well, nobody has to do that. I appreciate the direct support a lot. Anyways, I do wear ankle braces. I do it because I just don't see the point in not wearing them and getting hurt and then realizing if I had them on, I could have kept riding. And yeah, BMX Pete has arrived. Thank you for tuning in. Anyways, BMX Street Squad, Alienations, Ben Allen, Dr. David, and Bailey Koenigs. Good video to watch. Definitely will keep you entertained throughout. Dude jumps off of the roof into a quarter pipe in here. This was, I think, it's a street setup, but there's a quarter pipe involved because he's jumping off a freaking roof. It makes sense. Bye. So watch it. It's good. There's a couple clips in here that are brain melters. Makes you scratch your head like, whoa, that was crazy. There's one where Dr. David does an up rail, lands in a rocket manual with both feet on the pegs, and then gaps out into this wedge landing setup at like this DIY spot, but bonks the peg at the same time. That was sweet. Some good stuff. Next up, some cold cuts featuring Jacob Cable from the Kink BMX 30 video. So you got 9 minutes of Jacob Cable behind the scenes, seeing what it takes to put together his section from Kink's 30 video. I thought you were ending, my bad. Nope, not done yet, but I appreciate it. Then we get to the longer videos from this week. We've got the Burrow Breaker Rally. This is hosted by Billy Perry on his YouTube channel. I don't know all of the information about this. I don't know if there's a place I can go to read it or hear all of the information. But what I do know is that Billy made mention about $20,000 being given away or something for this. All I know is what I heard at the beginning of this video, which is insane and awesome. And I didn't fully catch like the concept. I think I get it, where they have a set of spots or at least areas that they have to go and do film clips at. And then there's also some challenges that they can do. And it seems that this is a timed event because the challenges take time off of their final time. I really wish I knew where I could go. I went on Billy's channel, but there's nothing titled with this, so I didn't know if I didn't have time to go through every video and find where he talked about it somewhere. But it seems cool, and the fact that there's so much money on the line for these, I think 10 riders, is great. It's a cool concept. And then watching this video with Brett Silva, I enjoyed it. It sucks because I have such an OCD perfectionist brain that I'm watching this awesome event, an amazing rider, and I still can't help but be like, oh, they could have did this to make it this much better and this and that. And I was watching this and I was like, man, this is such an awesome idea and it's so much money. But I'm watching this video and it's just a raw video with just the footage that was captured, and there's a little bit of context and talking that you gather. But I wish that I had a little bit more context from what is actually going on throughout. So you see them traveling to these different areas. I don't fully know what was going on, and I just watched that and I'm like, man, I hope that this doesn't make people tune out, because they're kind of just watching raw footage put together of something that's super, super, super awesome. And I'm watching, I'm like, man, and obviously you get pro riders who aren't people who make videos all the time. So they're not thinking about what the final product video needs to be. So you have Brett who's like, dude, this was really awesome. I had an amazing time. But then the video that you get from it is like, well, as a viewer, I don't fully know what was going on because I wasn't there. And you see them looking at the paper a couple times. I really hope that this does well and that they can keep it moving forward in the future. And myself watching, I was like, this is awesome. The riding is amazing. I just wish that throughout there was like a narrator or some type of something to give us context and know what is going on throughout, you know? And this is not me being negative brain breaker for Brent. Yeah, I'm watching it like, I just want to know what's happening. I'm just thinking of it from the concept of like, if you're going to put all of this money into it, I would try to make sure people are going to watch the whole entire thing and not give them an opportunity to get bored. That was my thing. Like, amazing everything about this. I would just hope that people don't watch it, and because for a couple minutes they don't exactly know what's happening, they're just watching some riding and what's going on that was filmed, I hope they don't tune out because of that. That's kind of my point. I want this to be successful and I want it to happen again. And I really hope at the end, it doesn't get looked back on like, oh man, it didn't get the kind of views we hoped it would. So I don't know if we'll do it again. That's my thing. And I can't wait to see the other ones as well. And the interview at the end of it was really, really cool too, with Billy just asking about the day and the concept and all of that. And maybe it's a thing of you do an interview at the end and then you splice in that interview a little bit throughout. I don't know. It seemed like the comments on it were all positive. So go watch it, give them some support, make sure that they keep this going and do something like this moving forward. Make sure this kind of stuff keeps happening. That is my thing. Just keep it going. Awesome event. Austin, I'm going to be talking about all of the events going on in November that are in the Time BMX app as soon as I get through the rest of the stuff from this week. Next, in the longest just video of the week, we have the in-between episode 4 seasons. Super cool to see where this is going, at least with the in-between as a series. Thank you, Adam, for gifting a membership. I appreciate you, the support. Always giving the support. Scotticky got the membership. Appreciate it. Thank you. But it's awesome to see that the in-between, the one with Grant Uby talking about him and his riding and the trips and all of this stuff, and then going and supporting a local park in Four Seasons, interviewing the guy who owns it and runs the place, as well as people who are building there, people who have ridden there since they were kids, in Jeff K, as well as Corey Walsh, who's just kind of there helping out, it seems. I don't know if he lives there now or if he's just helping with this event that's going on, but it's awesome to see something like this, which is a captured, I don't want to say moment, but it was definitely a captured moment of the Legends of the Fall contest last year that went on, and leading up to that, and talking about indoor skate parks and all of the different things that come from that, whether it be pro riders or skaters or events or supporting a community. Just good video. I really enjoyed it, and it's something different than what goes on it's something different than everything else that we see. It's like a journey kind of a video. I always love watching these. I hope these keep going too. Then we've got a video bike check from Colin Verignac to start out the interview type stuff from this week. Check it out if you want to learn what's on Colin's bike, as well as the mindset behind the choices and some of his signature parts. The Wedgwood Jam was really fun, Luke. I had a good time there. There's a sub setup that I will be going back to ride and do more on. I did a couple tricks that I'm really stoked on that I've wanted to do on a sub for a long time, but there was a couple other ones that I didn't think about that I wish I would have, and I got to go back for it because it's the perfect setup for what I want to do. Next up, we've got Dawn of the Streets recap with Scott Marceau on Canode Nose podcast. Check it out. Listen to Scott. Scott's a rad dude. If you don't know Scott, go check out his Instagram. He's making these cool magnets with BMX photos that he's taken. Check it out. It's cool. Then we've got Paris Benegas on the Unclick Podcast. Is there a... Let's check the YouTube description to see if there's a transcript of
Nationwide is so much more
in it. No, there's not. Darn. Anyways, I haven't had a chance to listen to it, so let me know if it's a good one. I'm sure it is. Let me know your favorite part of it in the comments after this stream goes live. So with that being said, I'm going to pull up Huck's video to be the background while we go ahead and go in and talk about the events from this week or this month. So the Time BMX app, I talk about it every week. If you guys don't know it yet, download it and check it out. But it is a social media, skate park, bike shop, bike park atlas, events calendar, and what else? I think that might be what I needed to say. Social media like Instagram, where you can go in and upload videos on your profile, as well as set favorite places to ride. Worcester Skate Park is my favorite. Look at that. I'm in the picture on Worcester Skate Park. How cool. Oh, look, another picture with me. Neat. And then a picture of the park. But every week, we've been going in and picking a random skate park in the entire world to show you the atlas function of this. It shows you all these different skate parks, bike shops, all over the entire world, as well as the weather for that area when you zoom in. So let's go to South America. Let's pick, Buenos Aires. This one. So it's 84.4 degrees at the El Playon Skate Park right now. This looks like a DIY. It is a DIY. Look at that. They got a volcano big quarter pipe, some grind ledge stuff, a pole jam, looks like a wedge to wedge pyramid hip. That is cool. And it's in Buenos Aires, Argentina. So there's no description other than El Playon skate park features many street style elements. So this is the app. You get your social media, a map of all these different skate parks and everything that you can go and actually check out. And you also get an events calendar. So let's check out Flatland, see if there's anything in November. There are some Flatland events in November. We'll talk about those first. November 1st, today in Japan, the Japanese National Championships. Then tomorrow in Chile, there's the American Continental Championships. The Stash Jam in Hamilton, Ohio is going down November 9th. What day is that? November 9th is next Saturday. Then also on Saturday, there's an event in Argentina. How funny. We were just there to check out that skate park. Cordoba, Flatland, Argentina. And Chimera A-Side Flatland Battle going down in Japan the weekend of the 9th. Chilean National Championships, Park and Flatland, November 16th, as well as the UEC Flatland European Championships, November 16th in Luxembourg. Pretty cool. So then let's go back, check out there's dirt jump events on here now too. So the Act Jam in Australia is happening this weekend. Little Devil Fest is also happening tomorrow in Pennsylvania, Collegeville, Pennsylvania, Little Devil event. And also tomorrow, I haven't advertised this everywhere or anything like that, but Apple Creek Trails, the trails I helped dig at, is having a chili jam tomorrow. John, the guy who owns the property, is making chili for everybody, and you can bring your own chili if you want to. And we're going to ride trails, eat some chili, and have a good day tomorrow at my local trails. So now, for November, we have a lot of events. We talked about Act Jam, that is a Flatland, and also other types of BMX disciplines event. We have the Japanese National Championships for Park going down this weekend. The British BMX Hall of Fame 2024 says November 1st through 30th, so I'm not sure the specifics on that. There's still 46 people tuned in. Thank you guys. Little Devil Fest, as we said, dirt jump event. There's dirt jumps there. Old School Swap Meet and Bike Show going down in Richmond, Virginia, November 2nd. The American Continental Championships also for freestyle. I'm assuming that's going on to do with park or dirt. Probably park. Oh, I need a drink of water. We have some people getting bike questions in here. We'll see. I'm 5'9" and I wish I got a 20.75 instead of 21. That is a good thing to let everybody know about. I have a video on bike sizes, but it is also subjective for everyone. Generally, like 5'9", 5'8", 20.75, around 5'11", 6 foot, maybe even 5'10". I'm 5'10", and I ride a 21. Anyways, Houston BMX Reunion in Pearland, Texas, November 8th. Texas BMX Roundup, Vintage Bike Show, and something or another. Also in Texas, the 9th. The Texas BMX Hall of Fame ceremony is happening the 9th. That is all 2 days events. Chilean National Championships, Park and Flatland. We already talked about that one, November 16th. Shred Fest in Braybrook, Australia. Magnolia Jam and Cataclysm video premiere in Lafayette, Louisiana, November 16th. The 3rd annual Bring a Cans Jam in White Plains, Maryland, the 16th. The World's Hardest Dad BMX Jam Part 2 in Darwin, UK. That's funny. Monster Energy Cash Up Jam in Brisbane, Australia, November 23rd. And the British BMX Freestyle National Series Round National Championships going down the 23rd through 24th in the UK. So those are the events on this app. Caleb, you could show up anytime you want. I'm probably not going to get there till 11:30 or 12. I'm going to eat a little bit of lunch before going, just in case I don't get to have that much chili. But anyways, those are the events. You can also submit an event on this app. You can submit a skate park, I'm pretty sure. Just a cool app altogether. So there's that. But then there's also the More BMX hashtag, which you can use like Presley did on his video, taking home trick of the day for this huge 180. Check out the More BMX hashtag. Presley kills it, always using it. If you use that hashtag, Instagram might not suck and it might show your post like it has for Presley's here. This one's new. Riding this DIY spot from Todd, who's in the chat, and Tyler Hepp. This spot looks amazing. I'd love to go ride it one day. I just gotta find somebody who knows and wants to take me. 52 people in the chat. Hell yeah. Thanks for tuning in. And I appreciate you, Jeff, for giving Robin the advice for the bike stuff, because I'm still doing the news and I've been talking for 50 minutes at this point. Normally it doesn't go like this. Normally I get through the news quicker. Is this bike post October 5th? Nope, that's a month ago. Anything new? Yo, Danny Rumpel's showing up here, jumping the Everest Gap at Woodward. Let's get it. Boom! Danny Rumpel, if you guys don't follow him, you should, because he is a shredder. Dude does front flips like that. Double back flips. Dude does so much crazy stuff. He'll do cliffhangers. It's awesome. Love Danny Rumpel riding. Back flipping. Flip whipping. Kills it. Flip tuck. Let's keep this going. 3 tuck. There's a lot going on. There is a lot going on. Front flip tuck no hander. Dude, that guy kills it so much. Anything else new? Another Presley clip. First time hitting the pool gap at OSP on my bike. Pool gap, jump into flat. That gap is literally as tall as Presley is. That's so awesome. Is there anything else new that we have yet to see? I don't think so. That's older. If you guys use this, send me a message with it too, and I'll try to remember to pull things up. Vulgar BMX posted with the hashtag, but I don't know if it worked. It probably worked. Instagram just sucks, and until there's more people with using this tag, what does that mean? Oh, followed the topic. What was any of this? Okay. For you. All right. I'm gonna turn this off. Oops, that's the wrong one. Turn this off for a second. I'm gonna go to tags. Yeah, no, it's the exact same thing. Oh, you know what we figured out too? We figured out that if you go on the actual browser Facebook post page thingamabobber, if you actually go to the browser page for it, more stuff shows up sometimes. What's up, Kid Wilson? So is there anything different on here? There's that. I think we've seen this already. Yeah. So there's different stuff, not necessarily more stuff. But either way, I appreciate everybody who uses this, and I appreciate the fact that we're almost an hour deep and there's still 45 people tuned in. Come hang out next Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's it for the news this week. Thank you to the members, Jeff Mead, Karinsky family, Paul Gale, Caleb Oney, gracing us with his presence this week. I appreciate you being able to make it this week. Who else in the members chat? Scotticky was gifted a membership from Adam Ortiz. Thank you for that gifted membership. Who else? Austin Schumacher, thank you for those super chats. Appreciate you too. See you tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see everybody tomorrow at the Chili Jam. Matt's cat is in here. Who else? Scrolling through the chat, trying to find everybody. Thank you to the Kinsky fam for 10 gifted members. Hell yeah. All those new members. If you see this, send me a message on Instagram and I'll get you into the members only Discord. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time, next Friday, same time, same place.